Okay. Yes, yes. Let's move on. A whole lot of games were played in the World Cup. I mean, we saw teams face off in the quarterfinals of the World Cup. Let's start with the game between France and Morocco. What do you make of that particular game? I mean, a whole lot of people felt Morocco had it in them to be able to dispatch France, but that did not happen. France seems to have the number of Morocco. Collins, what do you make of that particular game?
What I make of that particular game is 22 shots to 5 shots. I mean 22 shots for France, 5 shots to Morocco. You understand? I was watching that game with joy in my heart because Morocco wanted to. I don't just get it. I don't understand it. What I'm trying to, they could hold that France team for 90 minutes. What is even 90? I think I'm going too far with 90 minutes. They thought they could hold that France team for 45 minutes. Are they that good? I was trying to imagine what did their coach tell them that they can do it. Because in the first half, I didn't think they pushed more than 3 attacks. I didn't see them progress because the funny thing is that they were relying on counters. In the first half, they were relying on counters to get something. But France also prepared for that. You understand? France also prepared. I have when it comes to Didier Deschamps, that's the France national coach. I have certain criticism when it comes to him, how stubborn he is and stuff like that. But when it comes to tactics and everything, I'm not going to take that away from him. I mean, I saw what he did at Monaco. I'm not even grounded. I saw what he did at Monaco, and seeing that he cannot disrespect just a man. Do you understand? So France prepared for that. They knew that Morocco were going to. I don't even think they knew because of the way Morocco have attacked this World Cup so far. In all the in all the games they played this World Cup campaign, they've dominated their opponents in short. Every game, every single game this World Cup campaign. And this is a team that have faced both Canada and Netherlands. You understand? So that's to show you how much of an attacking side they are. And it got to France, they now decided to sit back. You understand? All their counter attacking efforts in the first half were very fruitless. They will try to, if everything was just zero, 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 zero. If everything was just coming to zero. You understand? For the second half, after they have already chopped 2 goals, they were not getting shot on target. So it was very, I feel like in as much as it's very sad to see it. I was very happy that they are out because I can't deal with Morocco again this World Cup campaign. I dealt with them in 2022, and I know what I saw. I can't deal with them again this World Cup campaign. So I'm glad that they are out. You understand? So but that was, I mean, they got to this point. It's impressive. It's just unfortunate that they have to face France. It's very unfortunate they have to face France. And I felt like France should have scored more goals in that match. Mateta missed some chances, maybe 1 or 2 chances. He should have made it at least 3-0. You understand? Uh, it didn't come. So very impressive from France. Very, very impressive from France because Morocco are one of the most coordinated sides in this World Cup. They are very, very coordinated. Do you understand? And I think I've mentioned some coordinated teams in this World Cup campaign that have played so far. And Morocco topped my list. You understand? Japan is also part of, but Japan are also. Morocco have for to me, I feel like Morocco are the most coordinated team in this World Cup when it comes to attack, balancing attack and defense and midfield and everything. But well, it's what it is, and France have to play Spain next. What a match! What a match! Let's not go into that now. Well, that's going to be a very, 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 very interesting match, and I hope France will qualify. Thank you.
Okay, that's fantastic. So Solomon, let's go to the game against Spain and Belgium. I know you are very happy. Merino came in and did the magic again, the way he did it in the last game. What do you make of that performance? Is it another over promising and under deliver Belgian side again? Because I mean, in that particular game, Belgium had no reading. It was more of Spain, 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 and De La Fuentes again made this joker substitution, and they came in and they delivered again. What do you make of that particular game?
First off, I don't support Spain. I've not supported them throughout this campaign. I will not support them throughout this campaign. Except they get into the final and maybe they are facing Argentina. I'll now say, oh, let's play Spain. Except that. But I will never support Spain. It doesn't matter whether I have 4 boys or 3 boys there. Yes, I have
Why?
Merino, I have
Why are you
Superman.
not supporting them? Why?
I don't just I'm not a fan of them. I just don't gravitate towards them, to be honest. I'm not a fan of them. In fact, I would have preferred that Belgium qualified because of Trossard. I like Trossard a lot, it's my boy. I like him a lot. But that aside, when you watch that Belgium Spain match, you obviously have said it that it was all about Spain. And it was all about Spain because Rudy Garcia decided to accommodate Doku. I can't believe it. You have your best chance creator in Leandro Trossard. Trossard is the player with the most chances created in this tournament. You took him away from his position and you put him to the other side. And you now expected that you were going to play anything. What were you expecting? They could not create anything because you were trying as much as possible to accommodate Doku. Why couldn't they switch? It was surprising to me. And it was not exactly surprising that Spain eventually got the winner. It was not surprising because, as I said, they were trying as much as possible to accommodate Doku, so they could not create chances because Trossard was not in his right position and he was not even getting the balls as much as he would have if he was playing in that same position as Doku. And because they were unable to create that many chances, Spain got the winner. And then we also have the fact that Yuri Tielemans got injured a few minutes to that match. Do you understand? We know very well how important Tielemans is to that team. He's their captain. He would have brought something different to that midfield side. But that notwithstanding, I think their major problem was that switch in positions between Leandro Trossard and Jeremy Doku. If you add Trossard on the position where Jeremy Doku was playing, that's on the left wing, there is absolutely no reason why at least they would have created chances. At least they would have created chances to score. So as the match progressed, I knew that Spain were going to, I just knew that Spain were going to win. I knew that Spain were going to win because the only chance that Belgium had, they eventually got a goal. But that should have told them something. That should have, if I'm not mistaken, that goal did not come from Jeremy Doku's side of the pitch. If I'm not mistaken. I hope I'm not.
That's very true. But you credit Spain. Spain has not considered. That was the first time they were considering the tournament.
Yeah. Let me tell something here. Spain in this tournament, they were like Norway. They were like Norway in the sense that you won't think too much of them and they will just continue to progress. Even that Norwegian team would have progressed were it not for, let's not go there yet. Now, look at that Spanish side, right? They have, I think that this is probably one of his best performance or best tournaments ever, right? It feels as though Rodri is getting back into his shape before the injury that he had. Rodri is literally the headmaster, the controller of that midfield. And then, of course, you have probably the what's it called now? One of the players that is, set to be the young player of the tournament in Pau Kubasi. Such a brilliant defender, that boy, right? Such a brilliant defender. And when you have Pau Kubasi at the back, and then you have, what's it called now? Rodri in the midfield. Come on. It's just a compact side. It's just a compact side. Now, here's the thing with Spain. Injuries have plagued them, and I'm saying injuries in terms of Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams. Both of them were were significant. They were pivotal to their Euro 2024 win, and it would have still been the same thing in this tournament if they were not plagued by injuries, right? If they were not plagued by injuries, it would have been a completely different ball game entirely. However, you can tell that what Spain is not exactly giving you up front. They have it in defense and in the midfield. They will not let you. Do you understand? They will not let you. And take nothing away from Moyasabal. I don't know why his name does not come up in conversations. Take nothing away from Moyasabal. He has 4 goals already in this tournament. I do not know why his name does not come up. There's a reason why De La Fuente has stuck with the players that he's sticking with right now. There's a reason. Because they are effective. Effectiveness means they can get the job done. That's exactly what they've been doing so far. You might not, I do not like their style of play. I think that they are not living up to their potential in terms of their attack, in terms of the things that they can do as a team, but they are getting the job done and they are in the semi-finals already. That says a lot. That says a lot. That says a lot. So, yes, credit to Spain, but then again, I genuinely think that Belgium did not give them so much to work with, or Belgium did not exactly put up a fight. They did not exactly put up a fight. If Belgium had put up a fight, I'm not talking in terms of defense now, I'm talking in terms of the offensive side of the pitch now. If Belgium had put up a fight in terms of their attacks, in terms of trying as much as possible to get Unai Simon to make more saves, maybe we would have seen a different ball game entirely. But it is what it is. The best team in terms of Spain eventually got the victory. So kudos to them.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Um,
Going.
sorry.
Okay, yeah, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah. I want to kind of look for trouble. It has been long I did. I look for trouble. So Mr. Solomon mentioned something about he said he doesn't like Spain's style of play, and he said that they at least they get the job done, that their attack doesn't live up to expectations,
You
but
want
they
to talk
still find a
about
way to
that.
get the job done.
You want to
I
talk
don't know
about
if you
that.
guys can see the irony.
You want to talk
I
about
don't know if you guys can see the irony. Mr.
you want
Bayo,
to
can you
talk
see the irony?
about
What's the
Do
you
you know
want to
irony?
the
talk
do
about
you know the name of the team? Do you
you
know the name
want
of
to
the
talk
team
about
you
Arsenal.
support? Of
You
course, I
want
want
to
to talk
talk
about
about
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
I mean, of course, I want to talk about Arsenal. It's very nice that you don't like what Spain are doing, but you support Arsenal. I want us to like it. But I'm going to drop my mic here. I'm going to drop
No,
my
no,
mic
no,
here.
no, no, no,
So
no. I'm just going to ask you. I'm just going to ask. That's fine. Thank you for bringing that up. I'm just going to ask you. Apart from Man City, which team scored more goals than Arsenal last season?
this is not. We're
Arsenal.
not doing this. We're not doing this.
Apart
We are
from
not
Man
doing
City,
this.
which team
No,
scored?
no, no, no.
You are
We are not.
not.
You mentioned something apart
You
from Man
started.
City. So somebody passed them,
Apart
right?
from Man
Apart
City,
from Man, so
which
somebody
team
passed them.
scored more goals?
Somebody passed them.
I can mention
But
In a
two
season,
but
teams that have scored more
in
goals
a
than
season,
but
where all
Spain in
other
this
teams
World
were
Cup.
below par.
but
In
I
a
there are
can
20
season where
teams.
all
two
other
teams that
teams were
scored more
below
goals
par.
than
But
Spain
there are
this
20 teams
tournament.
now.
Mr. Solomon,
But
Mr.
there are 20
Solomon,
teams. So
You
if
I
Arsenal is
can mention
second,
what
they are
teams
better
that
than
scored
don't
more
18
goals than
teams.
Spain this tournament.
we've talked about this before. How last season was a terrible season for almost every team in the Premier League. Arsenal were just Arsenal were just beneficiaries of how poor the entire league was last season. That's why they
Okay,
won the league.
Mr.
We've talked
Moore,
about this
Mr.
before.
Moore, hold on,
We saw
hold
them in
on.
the Champions League final.
Wait
We saw them in
now,
the Champions League final. That
hold
will show
on.
you how
Oh my
poor the
god.
Premier League has been this season. But let's not go into details about this. So
No, no, we will, oh, we will. You know I will not let you end. You know I will not end it there. We will. Wait, because you started, you are looking for trouble. You want to debate me. Debate successfully. That's fine. Now let me ask you. I'll ask you a question. That's fine. Oh. Tell me. You said that's to tell you. Wait, you said that's to tell you how poor the Premier League has been so far on last season. Teams were poor in the Premier League last season. Yada 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 yada. Now, how many Premier League teams got an European trophy last season?
three.
Two.
Two. Of the three
Oh,
Premier
Arsenal didn't get. Arsenal didn't get. So I forgot Arsenal didn't get.
Can
Arsenal
you
didn't get.
imagine? Can you imagine? Of the three, of the three Premier League teams that got to the final, two of them got an European trophy, and you say that the Premier League was poor last season.
I mean, what are you talking about here?
You
What
don't
are you
have a
talking
point.
about here?
You don't have a
Arsenal
point.
were supposed to be the ones.
You
Arsenal
don't
were
have a
supposed
point.
to be the ones.
You
You
don't have
understand?
a point.
The
Let's move on to Norway, England, please. I mean,
Yeah,
this one is just
let's
wait.
go. Let's go to Norway,
August.
England.
Just get ready for me in August. We'll
Let,
come
let,
over.
let,
We'll come back to
let, let, let,
God
let, let,
forbid.
let, let, let,
You are not my problem in August. I have other important things to focus on, not Arsenal.
let's go to England. I mean, if not for Solot, Norway should have won that particular game. Solot messed up in that particular game. I was watching the play yesterday, and I was getting angry on behalf of Ireland. I know when they get into the dressing room, probably maybe somebody will be holding him back not to do something to Solot. And I'll go to you, Collins. Did Norway expose the frailties of the English national team because they were struggling in that particular game? It took individual brilliance for them to win. It was not an exceptional, English team. It was more of exceptional players stepping up. What do you make of that particular game?
I mean, I called it. I said that game is going to be a KG one. You understand? He's speaking of individual brilliance. You also see the same similar case of individual brilliance versus the game versus against the game against Mexico. You understand? They didn't play anything. You can say they had the red card or anything, and I don't want to hear that. Their gameplay, they were very terrible in that game. They were very, very terrible in that game. You understand? And it took I don't know certain things for them to win that game. You understand? They defended well. I'll give them that. You understand? I mean, this is Thomas Tuchel you're talking about. Um, the game against Norway. I mean, Alex Solot did his. He did his work. Double agent. That is what he was. Double agent. You understand? You know the funny thing. You know the funny thing. The defender that was at the back was John Stones. That's the funny thing. John Stones that I don't John Stones is I don't want to I'm looking for the word. John Stones is wash. Like that was if he had not squared that ball to Haaland. But at the same time, if you have played football before, you know that the way when I went online, I was seeing the way people are just posting and screenshotting, posting and it's easy when you post and screenshot certain things on the pitch. It's when on the actual pitch is different. You understand? Everything is with speed and everything and everything. I'm not excusing Alex here. I'm not excusing Alex. But I'm saying as someone that have been here before. You understand? It's easy for you to screenshot, for you to post and take screenshot and everything and easy to make a point. You understand? But at that time, at if you notice that particular play, there was an early time this guy should have just scored the ball to Haaland. You understand? When it got too late, that was when he now was like, okay, this pass will be great because at the point that pass was already too late. And what he had to do was take the ball, cut inside, and play the shot and he got blocked. I mean, he said it himself. Even the coach said it. But Bakken said it. He said it himself. He defended Alex Soros actually, and he said he got to a point where Soros could no longer make that pass. His only option was to cut inside and do that rubbish he did. He said it. But at the point that pass should have been made. I'm not going to excuse at the point that pass should have been made. But the later effect of the mistake he did earlier was the shot getting blocked, and that cost Norway because 3 minutes after that, Bellingham scored a very fantastic goal, made it 1-1. So you can see how all these small margins, all these things can just change the nature of the game. You understand? If he has scored that goal, maybe it's going to be 2-0. If Bellingham has scored, that's 2-1. They'll still be looking for one more goal. You can see this thing. So let's forget about that chance for a moment. Let's forget about that chance for me. England, Norway had other chances to make that game. You see the goal they disallowed, and people can tell me you can argue that the goal disallowed is should have stood or stuff like that. I mean, I don't know about that one. I feel like it was rightfully disallowed. I don't know, so rightfully disallowed. You understand? You can argue they also had some chances in that game where they should have scored, but they didn't. England, on the other hand, had their own chances. You understand? So this was a case where Jude Bellingham individual brilliance just stood out. I was looking for Harry Kane that match. I couldn't see Harry Kane. Did Harry Kane play that match? Okay, did Harry Kane play? He played. I don't know if he played that match, but okay. But yeah, Jude Bellingham was very, very fantastic, and I'm seeing some problems is happening with Thomas Tuchel. But let's observe. England were I was very glad England qualified because I knew Argentina were going to they were going to deal with Switzerland. So I needed a stronger team to face Argentina. I did not want Norway to face Argentina. No offense to Norway. Their Viking rule is cute. I mean that their Viking drum is very cute, but let them do it outside the World Cup. You understand? Maybe in a prediction, let them go and be doing it there. You understand? We need strong teams to face Argentina. I beg. We don't I don't want whatever happened in 2022 World Cup to happen again. Let England, at least Thomas Tuchel and his boys, they know what they are doing. Let them face Argentina. We need the worthy opponents. Thank you.
Okay. Solomon, the Argentina game, I know we have spoken extensively behind the scene about that game. For me, Brie and Bolo cost Swiss that particular game. They were on top. They were on the court. They were on the precipice of defeating Argentina, and Brie and Bolo decided to misbehave. What do you make of that particular game? And do you think the tired leg is beginning to show? Because the last 3 games, Argentina has struggled. Yes, they won, but if you watch how they won those games, you will see that I think age is beginning to catch up with those guys. What do you think?
How many of them are 34? How many of them are 35 upwards? I don't know. You still have Alvarez, you have Molina, all those players, I don't know. Anyways, um, I am not a fan of Argentina. Everybody, I need to say that clearly now, right? I need to say that clearly that I'm not a fan of Argentina, but you cannot fault the fact that they are actually getting the job done. Yes, it might not be in the cleanest way possible, but to be honest, I feel like as long as you get the wins, people can debate, how you get it, it doesn't matter. You won. That's the game of football. To be honest, people can debate how you got the victory. Yeah, at the end of the day, who progressed? That's all. That's all that I feel like. That's all that matters. Now, I am not in any way saying that the style of play is beautiful to watch. I am not saying that the style of play is probably going to be, effective in the long run. I'm saying that kudos to them, to be honest. Kudos to them. Went all the way against Cape Verde, almost went all the way against Egypt because that match could have also extended into extra time, right? And then went all the way again against Switzerland, and they did not even go to penalties. That's the funny thing. They are not even going to penalties. So they are getting the job done at the times when there is absolutely nothing else for the opponent to play. Absolutely nothing else for the opponent to play. So again, as I said, kudos to them. It is mentally tasking or mentally taxing for you to be able to do that not once, not twice, but 3 times. Mentally taxing. Now, each of these teams have pushed them to the edge. We saw it with Cape Verde, we saw it with Egypt, now we saw it with Switzerland. It is easy for us to pick out parts where we felt like, oh, Argent FIFA, because people are now saying Argent FIFA, no more Argentina, right? There are parts where we could have picked out and say, oh, okay, something like this happened in the Cape Verde game, something like this happened in the what's it called now, in the Egypt game. But then again, as I said, the ability to just keep at it, to come again, it's not easy. It's not easy. So kudos to them. Now let's talk about that boy. What were you thinking? I don't get it with these players. I don't understand it. You were on a yellow card. Why? Why? You see that brilliant Mbolo and Alexander Solot, both of them, they should be brothers of the same parents. Both of them. There is absolutely no. See, let me tell you something. Football is all about moments. Football is all about moments. It is moments that get you the victory. It is moments that get you the trophy. Moments. What you do with the moments matter a lot. What were you thinking? There was You were not in the box 18 for that. You were nowhere near the box. If we say, oh, it's a penalty you wanted to get, you were not in the box. So why did you have to do that? And what was he crying for? What was he crying? He was now crying. You were crying. Why? Alexander Solot too. You saw. Let me tell you why that Alexander Solot one is even more annoying. If it was Haaland that was in that position that Solot was, Haaland would have passed. No matter how much of a goal machine or of a goal poacher Haaland is, go and watch him in Man City last season now. Haaland was coming back to defend. He was giving assists. So what are we on about? Haaland would have passed. So what were you thinking? Oh, Haaland has scored 7 goals. I have not scored 1 in this tournament. Is that what you were supposed to be thinking of in that moment? There was, see, Mr. Collins said, oh, you could have, in football, the speed and all of those things. Go and watch every angle possible. I've seen, go and watch every angle possible for that Solot.
Was that the only thing you caught? I said initially, I mentioned 2 cases. I mentioned 2 scenarios.
There is absolutely no other. There should be no but or anything with that.
See, we don't know. In as much as I want to, I see your point. No, I'm not saying you're wrong. But I saw this thing. See. I'm going to ask you now. Go back and rewatch that play. I'm not going to take you to watch what their coach said or what Alexander Solot himself said, because they are both defended this play. I'm going to tell you that there was a point at that play, you understand, where that pass was important. And not going to be impossible. The pass was the wrong option. The pass was the right option at first when we first received ball. You understand? That was when we should have passed that ball. Exactly. That's what I'm going to blame you. That's where I'm going to blame you. That's what I'm going to say. Oh God, you're supposed to pass the point.
Mr. Collins, if you are a coach, do you think that you will come out and throw your players under the bus? If you are not Antonio Conte, for instance,
it's not a matter of throwing the players under the bus. You understand? It's not a matter of throwing the players under the bus. This Norway are out already. There was no reason for backing. You understand? For him not to, there was no reason for listen. There was no reason.
The fact that Norway are out is the more reason why I would back him up, because he knows very well. Yes, now it's normal, it's football. People would obviously pile on him. Go and check his Instagram comments.
It did not. When you say back him up, backing him up will mean telling the world that Alexander Solot did nothing wrong there. That was the right move and everything. He didn't say that. Listen, he didn't say that. Go and read what he said. Go and check what he said. What he said was that at a point, he did not mention that Alexander Solot made the right choice. He didn't mention it. He just said what I said. He said at a point, making that pass at that point was the wrong decision. That's what he said.
It means obviously that at a point, making the pass was the right decision. Why?
Exactly. Like I just said.
There is no whitewashing of Alexander Solot. There's no whitewashing of him. I have said it. If Erling Haaland was in that position, Erling Haaland would have passed. The thing is that when you give a player, when you give an individual that doesn't have some particular skill set to do something, if you give him the tools to do it, he cannot do it. In the first place, why would you? We are even focusing on the wrong thing. Why is Alexander Solot playing at the wing? Why is someone as passive as Alexander Solot playing at the wing? Exactly. So we are focusing on the wrong thing. Alexander Solot, that I know at Atletico Madrid, is very fast. Is very boring. He doesn't have any technique. So why is he coming for the pass? That's why I cannot pass.
See, there are bigger problems here. You cannot give.
A professional footballer playing for
Let me ask you a question.
Not pass the ball. All right. Back to Argentina. Argentina, Switzerland. Bril Embolo, I don't know what your head was. I don't know what you were thinking, but brother, you can't do that. You can't do that. Again, it comes back to what I say. Football is all about moments. If that moment had not happened, Switzerland were on a very good chance, or they had a very good chance to ensure that they defeated Argentina and progressed to the next round. That's what we're saying. Football is all about moments, and that's the thing, right? Another thing that you saw in that match is that Switzerland were now pushing for penalties. That's not, that's obviously the right thing to do, extra time and all of those things. But then at some point, they went all out trying to get the equalizer, and the third goal happened. So again, as I said, kudos to Argentina. The mental strength needed to come back, needed to do what they have done so far in this tournament. It's not easy, and it's the first match that we see in this tournament that Messi did not get a goal, and thankfully they did not give him player of the match. Thankfully, because we know they can go and say he's the one again that won player of the match. Let's not do that, right? Let's not do that. We saw it with Lamine Yamal. They did that. Oyarzabal got 2 goals. They gave Lamine Yamal the player of the match. So now, final four. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Oh, okay. Now that I mentioned Final Four, as we are about to rounding up, as we are about going, I will start with you, Collins. The Final Four: Spain, France. Who do you think wins? Argentina, England. Who do you think wins? Because next time we have a show, they would have played those matches. You are muted.
I'm all right. Spain, France, obviously. Then Argentina, England, obviously. I mean, it's no, there are no two ways about it. I feel like both Argentina, the way Argentina have been winning so far, I don't know how they have been doing it because I look at their squad and I see some pattern of, I saw some mediocrity. I don't want to say their squad is. I mean, any squad that has Messi in it is you look at it with some high regard or something like that. But there are some players in that squad they are not. Let's just say that so far so good. I mean, the quality of opponent they face so far, we can make an argument here that they have been lower opponents and stuff like that. I don't want to start making an accusation, but it's so that is the truth. You understand? It's the truth, honestly, because you started from facing Egypt, to Switzerland and which other smaller team did they face? You can see
Cape Verde.
can you imagine? Look at who they are playing AFCON. You understand? So it's just it's just no, it's the
Well,
truth. It's the
they
truth.
play three African teams. They play three African teams, so you can say that.
So yeah, now look at who they are playing AFCON. So I mean I'm trusting England and his boys to progress because they are more hungry. You understand? They are more hungrier. You understand? So I feel like Messi's juju will end. I mean, it has ended already. So that man is old already. He should retire. He has World Cup already. He should leave this one for the boys. I don't know what's still doing in the World Cup. So as for Spain versus France, I see France beating Spain. You understand? We've mentioned it already. Spain have their defense and they have their midfield, but France have the attack and they have the midfield too. You understand? I can make an argument for their defense because I can bear their defense and see you're looking at it, but France have what it takes to kick out Spain from the World Cup, and they can score goals. They can score goals. So France and England for me final.
Okay, Solomon, as we go, what do you make of what's your prediction for those games?
Myself and Mr. Collins might argue a lot, but it is what it is. I mean, this is us agreeing together now. You know, France should see.
That's
I like the French side.
that's oddly strange.
I know, right? I know, right? I like France. I like France. I like Kylian Mbappe a lot. I like Kylian Mbappe a lot. And of course, my boy Saliba is there, right? And the funny thing with the French squad is that we focus more on their attack, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. They have the most lethal attack in the World Cup tournament right now. At least they are doing better than one team that had the best midfield that did not do anything. Anyways, they are out. They have gone. the French attack, they are doing the job, and rightly so. But kudos to their defense as well. I think they've gone 4 matches without conceding as well. So kudos to them. I mean, you look at the likes of Upamecano and William Saliba, right? You want to look at them and think, oh, maybe Upamecano and Bayern Munich is not so like that. But look at him this tournament. It's been very, very fantastic for France, right? Even Digne too has been good. Very fantastic performance from the defensive side. He even makes it easy for Kone, for Rabiot to do their job as midfielders. So kudos to their defense as well. Let's not take anything away from the French defense. Now, here's the thing. This Spanish side that we are overlooking, they will just sneak in. This Spanish side too. I'm not taking anything away from them. I'm not taking anything away from them. They can just score and go and lock up. And you just see Rodri become like 10 people on the pitch. So Spain obviously have what it takes to upset. I won't say upset because they are both very, very they are top European teams. So there's no upsets coming anywhere. Right. So that is expected to be a tough match. But then again, I'll give it to France. Now come to England, Argentina, right? Let me tell you something. Do you know that the English squad got to the finals of the 2020 Euros? They got to the finals of the 2024 Euros. They got to the quarterfinals of the 2022 World Cup. Right? Now they're in the semi-finals. A moving man will one day meet his luck. That is the case of this English team. They have been, I don't know why people keep, they have been in the positions where they should.
That's true.
In the 2018 World Cup, they were fourth.
True.
Take nothing away from this English squad too. So yes, I'm obviously going to give it to them. I don't care what Thomas Tuchel wants to do. Go and embalm Saka, go and palm him up or whatever. He should be starting that match against Argentina. Madueke is my boy.
Let's not do this. Let's not do this. Let's not do this.
Madueke is my boy. Hey,
Let's
Madueke.
just predict and go. Why are you mentioning Saka and Madueke, especially knowing how terrible this play? Let's just predict and go. You want to educate our viewers. I don't understand.
What say Saka has been terrible in this tournament?
I mean, yeah, if what you are seeing from Saka, if you are impressed from what you are seeing by Saka, I'm not going to blame you. I mean, that's the standard attacker. You see attackers like Dembele, you see attackers like you are telling me what you are seeing from Saka is impressive. Go ahead.
Pedro Neto. Where is he? Where's Pedro Neto?
I don't understand. What do you mean where's Pedro? I don't know. What do you mean?
Saka is not even fit.
Guys, let's keep this to August. Let's keep this to August. August is very close. Let's keep this to August.
Quick one. Argentina, I think that they've gotten to the end of the road. If you watch England and Argentina, both teams have the quality to go all the way. They can both go 120 minutes. They can both push it to the end. Do you understand what I'm saying? They can both push it to the end. But I just think that England has the quality, not just in terms of, okay, I believe that England have the individual quality to want to go all the way. If you check the last 2 matches, Cape Verde and Egypt, prior to the one against Switzerland, you would see that most times the bulk of the attack has been led by Messi. I might be mistaken, but you see that most times the bulk of the attack has been led by Messi, or at least they're looking for him to do one thing or the other. It was only in this match against Switzerland, that we saw them, but in England, Bellingham is doing this, and the funny thing, somebody can obviously come and attack me and say, oh, but Kane and Bellingham have gotten 12 of the 13 goals that England have scored in this tournament. They've gotten 12 of the 13 goals. Yes, they've gotten 12 of the 13 goals, but look at the assists. Saka, Gordon, Morgan Rogers. Do you understand what I'm saying? Players that are coming in to be able to get it. If Messi is not getting the assist, you are waiting for somebody to try. No. With England, you have players that are coming and are saying, okay, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll ensure that every. Now look at what what's it called? Thomas Tuchel did. Although I think that formation that he did was not, he took out Declan Rice, he took out what's it called? He took out Declan Rice and Madueke and brought on Reece James to come and play midfield. Then eventually he took out Exukonsa and put Reece James back in the right back. I genuinely do not know what was going on in that position, but that means that we have versatile players in England. Versatile players. The moment Reece James went to right back, Nusa was shut off. He was getting everything against Exukonsa, but the moment Reece James came to the right back, see the way
That's my captain.
I'm praising your
That's
player
my
now.
captain.
I'm praising your
That
player
is
now.
my captain.
I'm praising your player now.
That is
You not see anything.
that is my captain. No, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Greatness will always shine. See, I'm not surprised. Why would I be surprised you are praising Reece James? Why would I be surprised you are praising Reece James?
So why can't you give Saka that is injured? Why can't you give him his props? Why can't you give him his flowers? Why can't
Because
you
I'm not
give him
seeing the flowers. I don't have any flowers to give to Saka.
somebody
Sorry.
that has more assists
I'm only
this
giving
season?
Ubu. Will you accept Ubu? Ubu leave.
Oh
I
God,
don't have flowers to give.
Maybe you have a new coach. I'm coming for you people. Don't worry. Tabawa, thank you very much.
Okay, now.
France, England, final, Spain, Argentina, third place match. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you so much, guys. It's always amazing having you here. Thank you so much. Let's see what will happen by Friday when we have the show. Maybe by then, this would have come true. However, I've told you behind the scene that I think Spain will win the World Cup. But let's
Yeah,
see
you
that.
mentioned that.
Let's
Yeah.
see if that will come through. Thank you so much,
Me,
guys.
I don't have issues with it. As long as Argentina does not win, I don't care. If England like they should win, Argentina must not win. That's my own. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you. Thank
Have
you.
a great one, guys.
Have a good.
Yeah,